Hello friends and greetings for the day. Welcome back to another tutorial on our foundation level sample paper discussions. We are in chapter 5 talking about several sample questions of this chapter. We have covered a few more in the previous tutorial. It's time to jump into the other set of questions which are expected from this particular chapter. And the very next question which we are talking about is question number 33, and it's certainly talking about, looking at the table, you can figure out it's talking about the test execution schedule. So given the following priorities and dependencies for these test cases, which is a part of this table here, we got 6 test cases, including the priority, technical dependencies, and logical dependencies. Which of the following test execution schedule best considers the priorities and technical and logical dependencies together? So the very first thing you need to understand that this particular table here represents 6 test cases which are written in the order TC1, TC2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And later, because test design is the phase where you write the test cases, prioritization is done during test implementation, where you prioritize your test cases based on several factors. Could be about the complexity, could be about the risk, etc. And here you prioritize that TC1 and TC3 are with high priority, TC4 and TC6 are medium, TC2 and TC5 are low. So as per the priority, the order of execution must be TC1, TC3, TC4, TC6, TC2, TC5. But at the same time, they're also giving you technical and logical dependencies that TC1 and TC3, no matter being highest, are dependent on TC4, right? And on the other hand, TC6 being medium is dependent on TC5, where TC5 being low is dependent on TC2. That means whatsoever TC2 should be executed before you can talk about executing TC5 or TC6, right? With given that understanding, all you understand here is I'll always start with the priority, but when I go to the high priority test cases, I see both of them are blocked by TC4. So the very first test which should I be executing is TC4, no matter it is medium, but the dependency has to be removed in order to run the high priority test cases. So TC4 becomes my first test. Then I can run TC1 and TC3. But as TC1 and TC3 both are on the same priority, do not forget that they can be executed in any order. It's not about how you write them. TC1 or TC3. Any of that can be executed after TC4. So that's where a lot of people get confused that no, TC1 is on the top, so it should be executed first always. No, not necessarily. You can, both are equal priority, right? You can execute any one of them. So it could be TC4, TC1, TC3, or TC4, TC3, TC1 as well, right? Given that 3 is covered now, let's jump into the next test. So both the highs are done. Now let's move to the medium. We see TC4 is already done. And the other medium test case is TC6. And that is dependent on TC5, technically. So without that, I cannot proceed. So TC5 is low, but dependent on TC2. So TC2 has to be executed next. Then TC5, then TC6. So now if you summarize together, I'll execute TC4, TC1 or TC3 and that the second one. So say for example TC4, TC1, TC3, then TC2, then TC5 and TC6. If I see in the options here, we have conflict in B and C. If I see B, it says TC4, TC3, TC1. Okay, TC2, TC5, TC6. Looks correct. What about C? TC4, TC1, TC3. Still here it is correct, but then it says TC5, TC6, TC2. No, we have to remove technical and logical dependency. The second part, the last 3 test cases are not following the order. That's where it is wrong. So the right answer here is B, TC4, TC3, TC1, TC2, TC5, TC6. A lot of people go wrong here when I do that as part of my training. Typically people pick up B thinking that TC1 should be executed always first. No, it's all equal. So you can do any other thing which can be picked up, right? Let's look at the next question here. And the next question is about the estimation approaches. If you remember, we had the topic on the test estimation in chapter 5, and the question says, which of the following statement about test estimation approaches is correct? Again, you don't have to be a test manager in order to answer this question, because this was a straightforward discussion. They gave you two types of estimation approaches given to you as a part of the topic. So it's as per the syllabus. So option A says, with the matrix-based approach, the estimation is based on test measures from the project, and so this estimate is only available after the testing starts. The very first thing to remember here, a test estimation is an event or ceremony which happens before testing begins, right? It does not begin after the testing starts. So test analysis, test design, these are the events which happen post-testing begins, right? So estimation is something which happens much earlier before you can start the testing process. So A is not correct. B, with the expert-based approach, a group of experts, user identified by the client, recommends the necessary testing budget. Now, that's another interesting thing to discuss about. When we look at these type of questions, we say that in the expert-based approach, of course, experts gather together. Experts need to be experts in testing, not in using the test objects. So it's just that, we aren't talking about anything. No expert users. We need expert testers here. So we will be consulting senior test engineers, not the expert user. So the word user making that option incorrect, that we cannot invite the end users or real-time users to come and join us and tell us that what exactly will the estimation be. We rather consult with the expert testers and then do the estimation. So B is also incorrect. C, with the expert-based approach, the managers responsible for different testing activity predict the expected testing effort. Looks absolutely fine, because test managers are those senior people, in fact experts of testing, who can talk about estimation. And generally test estimation is a responsibility of test manager, right? Look at D. With the matrix-based approach, an average of testing costs recorded from several past projects is used as the testing budget. Now that's again an interesting option. While it is useful to know the testing costs from the previous projects, a more sophisticated approach is needed than simply taking an average. We do several calculations there. We talk about doing certain specific, as it is a matrix-based approach, right? The term says when with the matrix-based approach, it's not about discussions. It's not about your past references or just the average of multiple projects put together, because your project could be unique and that average no longer works for you, right? So you need to be considerate about all these wordings and then tell the answer. You don't have to be a manager. You have to be observant on the options, which gives you a clarity that what exactly are they trying to ask you, and then come to the conclusion. When they say matrix based, of course calculation comes into picture, but is that average will be enough? Because your project can be unique, can be completely independent. So will that average be useful for estimation? No. You need certainly a great discussion there, understanding certain calculations which talks about the current project which you are looking forward to, and then estimate it. So D is also incorrect. So putting it up all together, the right answer here is C. With expert-based approach, the test managers responsible for the different testing activities predict the expected testing effort, right? We'll just be holding on here and looking forward to the next question in the next tutorial. So that's all from this particular tutorial team. Should you have anything else, feel free to comment below. I'm always there to address your queries and answer them well. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep understanding the context. Thanks for watching the video team, and happy learning.